We're on with Dan Saunders from Team Desert Edge. Dan, how you doing tonight?
Wonderful. How are you doing?
Good, good, good. Welcome to the program. We got a lot to talk about. I mean, you guys are a good example of branding for a paintball team in the 21st century because you've done what a lot of woods ball teams haven't done. You've got a marker, you've got a bunch of events, you're doing your own events, all sorts of stuff. You guys, I mean, do you have your own PR team, or do you just go onto a walk-on game and say, everybody play in, you're all part of Team Desert Edge, we've got stuff for you to do, so stop, come on.
We do both of that.
It seems like you have to have an army to do what you guys are doing.
We kind of do. I mean, we've been around for 5 years, and the first couple of years it was like every other woods ball team, and it was a struggle to keep the team together, but through the due diligence, things started to stick, and we started to get a good group together, and we started to be able to be a little bit more organized. Within our group, one of the neat kind of things about it is we actually do have a group within the team that works specifically on public relations stuff and marketing and media stuff.
I was kidding. You bastard.
Yeah. It's the only way we can keep organized.
I can barely keep, when we had a scenario team, we had like a team of 8, and we could barely find it enough time to get all 8 people at one event. And you guys have like 50 people, and you've got your own PR? That's amazing.
Yeah, we break the team up into 4 different groups for off-the-field duties. We have assets that take care of all the things that we own. We've got events that take care of the events that we put on and the events that we attend to keep that kind of stuff organized. We have marketing that deals with any kind of sponsorship stuff that we have, any kind of promotional stuff that we do. And then we have a media group that does our website and photography stuff and submits articles to magazines and just keeps us all busy.
Wow. That's pretty freaking cool. I mean, how did you, have you been there since the inception? I mean, you are the first guy on the player bio page, so I'm guessing you are the captain, you are the man. Did you expect when you started this team that it would come this far? Did you have a grand, long-standing, long-term vision? Do you feel a calling, or are you just great at organizing groups of slackers?
All of the above. No, I never thought that we'd be where we are. It's interesting because I don't think that the majority of the paintball community really realizes how small the paintball community is. And so when you're first coming into it and you're looking at, the big teams that are part of the magazines and that you see on the web pages and the websites, you aspire to be like that. And then you get there and realize that really all of those people who you were idolizing before are still a bunch of schmucks that are just trying to scrape along just like you.
Isn't it weird? I was talking to one of our big sponsors and advertisers on the program, Gary Baum from Paintball Photography, and he said, it's weird. People come to me and ask me questions like I know what I'm doing. I guess if you're in this long enough, they just assume that you get it. And I'm sitting there going, I don't know. Like, how do you do that? I just sort of make it up. And if it works, it works. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. Good luck with that.
Yeah. So he's using the same business plan I am then.
Exactly. That's what I'm doing here. That's great. I'm going to try and patent this before the rest of you smart people get into it.
Nice.
Well, cool. Speaking of long-term goals, what's going on with Team Desert Edge? I mean, over here in the news, you guys have got this really badass ego that's out, the Desert Edge exclusive, the Deego, if you will. How did that come down?
We've been working with Planet Eclipse for about 4 years now, and I can't say enough good things about Planet Eclipse. They really treat their teams really good, and we approached them tail end of last year, beginning of this year, about doing a private label gun, and they had never done a private label gun before for a woods ball team. They had done some custom colors, and they had done some laser engraving, but they've never done a private label gun for a woods ball team before. And I guess that we didn't embarrass them quite so horribly, so they decided to go for it. And the nice part about Eclipse, though, is that they don't come to you and talk to you about, okay, what's your win-loss record? The things that they value most in their teams are dedication and loyalty to the brand. I mean, Excessives had some crappy years, but they never got dropped. And Eclipse has done wonderful with their line because they're dedicated to the line. So they really work good with their teams, and it's, I guess, just a bonus that they just trash every other marker out there because they're awesome. They never go down. Nice.
That's great. I mean, that's absolutely beautiful. I mean, we were talking about this a little bit, and it seems to be an ongoing trend of where when Pacific fell, Pacific Paintball was sort of the linchpin between Pacific and PSP to keep the dream of paintball in the news, in the Olympics, on television alive. But when that fell, the entire industry went, "Oh shit, that was our money. That was our big thing. Well, what are we going to do? What else do we have?" And the 80 to 90% of the rest of the sport stood up and went, "Hey, what about us in the woods?" And they went, "Oh," and there's this big shift towards the woods. I mean, you finding that's true as well? I mean, how long ago did you start the team, and has it been sort of like the red-haired stepchild syndrome, and all of a sudden, like, your pretty older cheerleader sister just got knocked up, and they're like, "Well, let's see we still got her. I know we can make her pretty," sort of thing?
Yeah, it was weird because you're right. There wasn't a whole lot of attention in woods ball and scenario, but when the economy starts to take a dive, it's interesting. I mean, it's anybody who really understands paintball and the way that it's set up. It's speedball for show, woods ball for dough. There's 80%, 90% of the paintballers play in the woods. But you can't, they've got the speedball that's the fast-paced, tons of paint flying, fancy colors, flashy, and it's all exciting. So that's easy to put on TV, and it's easy to market. So, but yeah, there's more money in the woods. So it's nice that we're kind of having our time right now, and some of the woods ball teams and some of the woods ball companies are really starting to rise to the surface and having their time.
That's beautiful. Now, you guys aren't just a pretty face. Everybody here in the chat board's talking, and you got all your boys here. You want to give some shouts out or some shut ups since you got some guys there in the board saying hey?
I got no idea who's on the board, but I'll. And there's no way you got time for me to list them all off.
Oh my God, I know.
Hey to all my Desert Edge boys.
Hi, one big overarching hi to everybody. Now moving on from just the team, the brand, the marker, the rest of it. Now you guys are producing events as well. This upcoming event is the Triad Challenge, or what's that? Yeah, the Triad state versus state versus state. So tell me a little bit about the event and Desert Edge and your part in it.
We've actually got our next game is actually this weekend, and that's Battlefield, Utah. But we do 2 big events a year for fundraisers to help travel to events because everything gets so expensive. But the Triad is a really unique one that has been really fun to be a part of. We created the format of 3 fields, 3 teams on the field at the same time, 4 flags. And then as that kind of developed, we've got good buddy Tim at Pirates Paradise in Nevada who owns a field. And so we put together the Nevada, Utah, and Idaho Triad Challenge. So it's Utah versus Idaho versus Nevada.